Hello. Okay, so this is our final video journal, and we were asked to discuss culture shock. The question was, if you were dropped into American culture without any pre-knowledge about it, what would you think about American society if you only had our entertainment media as a reference? So that's the jumping off point that I went with, and first I decided to really look up the definition of culture shock, just so I had a good idea of where to go from here. Obviously, everyone kind of knows what culture shock is, but the actual web definition is personal disorientation. A person may feel when experiencing an unfamiliar way of life due to immigration to a new country or to a move between social environments. So, how I approach this video is I imagined myself coming to America from a much less technologically advanced country, maybe even a developing country. And I would probably think that America was full of superficial people, to be honest. People who really lacked morals. This is just strictly based on what's deemed important in the media, or entertainment media, definitely. For example, like when you look in the tabloids or on the news in the entertainment section, you see what Kim Kardashian wore last night, or the importance of the newest iPhone, things like that. So in our culture, it can definitely be seen as a place that's lacking some structure as far as what's important in society or in the entertainment business as well. So the culture and technology impact relationships because our culture is a very technologically advanced culture, and this is something that we all know. You've asked us in class a few different times how many of us have smartphones. 90% of us raise our hands. We're constantly checking our emails, constantly checking our text messages, constantly checking our social media sites, and we have even news that streams onto these different mediums, such as social networks, such as our cell phones, such as different apps, and so the convergence aspect comes back into play, and this impacts our relationships because we, as mentioned before when we did the social network video, there's much less face-to-face conversation and much more technological communication, like I said before, emails, etc. So I think that that's really the biggest way that the culture and technology of where we live and our global culture kind of impacts our relationships. So you asked us at the end of our final journal entry to reflect on what we learned in Common 05 this semester by drawing a final conclusion referring to the topic presented and how it relates to at least 2 subjects learned and discussed in class. Well, Common 05 really had got my attention as far as looking at technology in a different way. Technology as well as the media, definitely. You don't understand really what goes into the media and all the different aspects, such as like the media laws and the biases and stuff. So I thought that, and it's things that you really don't notice until you're kind of forced to notice. So I thought that that was a really interesting aspect of the class. And now even I notice in my own time when I'm viewing an advertisement or reading an article, I kind of tend to pick up on these biases and things like that. So I think that it's definitely changed the way that I look at different types of media. Also, what I learned is that technology is constantly going to be changing and improving and converging, and I really never stopped to think about how a new culture is really being formed and how we are kind of the pioneers of that culture, essentially, because we are the ones using it all and testing it all out and making sure that everything's moving forward technologically. And this final video journal highlights this because our culture is so driven by technology that it affects our relationships as opposed to how we viewed them 30 years ago when our parents were younger, things like that. So it really ties into the different aspects of technology and how it really constantly changes and evolves. So I thought that all that was really interesting, and I definitely learned a lot about my own culture in this class, which is probably pretty important. So thank you, and bye.